It's another week and another brand new episode here on the Granny Panty Podcast. I am your host, RubyLynne. If you'd like to follow the podcast, make sure you hit subscribe here on YouTube. You can also follow the Granny Panty Podcast on Instagram. If you'd like to follow me, the host, you can go to rubylynne.bio, B-I-O, and it's all things Ruby. I am excited to chat with my guest this week. She has a long-standing career in adult. She used to be a bunny on the Bunny Ranch, and she has a couple of great podcasts that she's hosted and created, and currently she's managing a hip-hop career. So help me welcome Alana Luv. Alana, I am so excited to have you on the show this week.
I'm so excited to be on the show. Thank you so much for having me.
You bet. I've heard so many good things from the person we have in common, Lainey Spicer.
Yes, besides the fact that she is amazing, I heard so many great things about you, and I'm so excited to be on the show.
Well,
And Lainey never disappoints, so any friend of Lainey's is a friend of mine.
That's right. That's right. She's so awesome. Yeah, I'm excited to hear about the new stuff that you have that you're working on. Also, just going back briefly, find out how did you get into adult and how that all came.
The fun story.
The fun stories. So, were you born in Russia or were you born here?
I was born in Russia, but I came here when I was 8 months old.
Oh, wow.
So I don't remember anything about Russia. I'll be honest. I have no family there. I was never back or anything. I heard it's beautiful. That's all I hear. So I'm a New York City girl my whole entire life.
Well, hey, New York City is my favorite city in the U.S. And if it wasn't for Lainey, I would have never got there. So yes, I love it. I love New York.
I mean, it's my home. So like, when they say it's a city that never sleeps, I'm like, no, I sleep. Like,
yeah. I've been trekking around in New York City at like 2:30 in the morning, and it is pretty quiet.
And you can still find coffee. You can find something open. You can find a restaurant open. You can find anything and everything.
Yeah, I think the funniest
still around.
I think the funniest part about that trek, it was last Halloween actually. Back to the hotel is that a rat just went right across my boot and scurried away.
Oh, and I'm terrified of rats. So I
was so excited. I'm like, I'm true New York now. I've had the rat experience.
I made it now.
That's right. So tell me about how you got into adult.
Well, I worked in corporate.
Okay.
So I started out in corporate and the nightlife, New York City nightlife. I was the front door girl and everything. So I was the bitch at the door. And then the economy sucked. So I got let go from my position. Mm-hmm. And someone told me to watch the show The Cat House.
Oh.
So I watched it for shits. Like, I was just making fun of it. And oh, okay. But so I basically watched it. I applied. 10 minutes later, Dennis Hof calls me. I thought it was a joke, so I hung up on him.
Oh my God.
He calls me back and he's like, it's not a joke. We want you to come out to the Bunny Ranch and everything. Mind you, I'd never done it before.
Gotcha.
So I didn't know what to expect or anything. So I'm like, all right, I'll try it out. It can't hurt. I remember going there my first time. Oh my God, did I have an anxiety? I was like, what did I get myself into? Oh my God. Right. And but Dennis took a liking to me, loves me, and made sure I was always all right. That's why, may he rest in peace. I will always cherish him for that.
That's amazing. What year was that, Alana?
Ooh, that was like 20 years ago.
Okay, okay.
Wow, yep, time flies.
Time flies. And then how long did you work there?
3 years, two
Okay.
weeks. I would go there 2 weeks out of every month to the point
Mhm.
where I didn't even know what time zone I was in. Like, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm not jet lagged no more. Nope, I gotta go back on the plane.
Oh my gosh.
And, but it was a great experience. And
Mhm.
then I saw that it was dying out or whatever. So
Mhm.
I was like, let me go into the adult industry and try porn. The Bunny Ranch banned me for that.
They did, which is interesting because
I think I started the trend of having porn stars being able to go there.
okay, okay. I was gonna say that's interesting because Dennis Hof and Ron Jeremy were good friends.
Oh, I know. And I'm just like, he got mad when I was like, oh, okay, I think I'm gonna go shoot porn. And they blocked me on Twitter. I was
Wow.
banned. I'm like, wow, you would think I killed someone's firstborn. Like, what?
That's crazy.
hmm But it was just, the Bunny Ranch taught me a lot. It taught me self confidence, along
Mhm.
with working in the nightlife and everything. It taught me how to have thick skin. I thought that when I started shooting, it would be the same thing. But it's completely different to have cameras all in your face, all in your
Yeah,
angles, every single angle, and then telling you not to look at the cameras. And my
right.
first time, all I did was look at the cameras.
And it's different too because I've shot for different directors. Some directors are like, "Look at the camera when
Right,
you're."
and some directors like pretend it's not even there. Meanwhile, they're
Exactly.
just like going to every single angle, and I'm like, well, it's pretty hard to not know that the camera's there when you're like all under me.
Y'all up in your business.
Exactly.
So did you end up moving to LA or did
I
you stay in New
didn't.
York?
I just kept going back and forth.
Mhm. Yeah.
Like, for me, I just felt like New York was my home and I had
Mhm.
everything here and I just couldn't just pick up and leave.
Right. Right. Yeah, a lot of performers do that New York to Vegas or New York to LA
Right.
thing.
And it's
Yep.
hard. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it's hard. And especially now, with
Mhm.
the way that the industry changed and everything, you don't even have to move anywhere.
Right. Right.
You could
And
do it from your home.
that's true. And you're positioned well to more so go to Miami probably.
Right, it's a lot closer.
Mhm.
And
Yeah, no more 5-hour
I
flights.
love Miami.
Yeah, Miami is quite different. I've been there a few times. Unfortunately, I'm
Miami,
always
like,
in
as soon
South
as I
Beach.
get off the plane, I'm like, I'm just so happy, go lucky, like,
Yep.
stress free, everything.
Yep,
And
the
then
warm
come to
water.
New York and I'm like, you get all the cabs and everything. I'm like,
Yeah, yeah. I love New York. So you got into adult and you shot for a lot of the big studios, I
I
read.
did. And I was
And
nominated 5 times for AVN. So I'm like, I'm just gonna throw that out there because I was impressed.
yeah,
I was always the bridesmaid, never the bride, pretty much. I never won, but you
that's
know what?
me.
We got nominated, so that's all that matters to me.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. We can hold the bridesmaid flowers together.
All day long, I got you, girl.
So how long well, you started a podcast then. Was that more towards the end of the adult career?
I already retired from the adult career.
Okay.
And then during COVID, I decided to start a podcast because I'm like, there's absolutely nothing else to do. So I'm like, why not start a podcast and everything? And it was going really well until, unfortunately, there was a step back, like a step back. I needed to take a step back and pause it.
Okay.
But I'm planning on relaunching and everything. And I would love to have you as a guest, but we can talk about that later.
Yeah. So your 2020 podcast was called Confessions of a Star, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And the new podcast
It
is
was called Love and Laughs.
Love and Laughs. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And thankfully, Delaney, she brought me, I met so many great people through her and
Mhm.
everything. And then I also had another podcast for the music industry called
Okay.
We in the Booth with my co host Alpha Mel, who I also manage, who's also a hip hop artist.
Okay.
So I had 3 podcasts in the works. So now I'm just waiting to relaunch them.
Okay. That's a lot of work. I only have one and it's a lot of work.
It definitely is a lot of work, but I go crazy when I don't have work.
Yeah. Yeah.
I always need to keep myself busy, or else I'm like, what am I doing? Like, I just go crazy.
I bet. I bet. Are you going to return to adult films?
Well, I'm doing OnlyFans right now.
Okay.
So I don't think I'm going to shoot for the big companies just because I feel like the industry definitely changed by a lot. I
Mhm.
was there, when box covers were still the thing.
Right.
And like, you made a box cover, you made it.
Right.
And now I just feel the industry became so oversaturated that you don't know who you're shooting with. You don't know the testing or anything like that. So I rather do it on my own terms and everything, and like the rates definitely changed.
Yeah, I bet. Have you seen them go down?
They went down significantly, and I'm like, I'm not a rookie though. But at the
Yeah.
same time, like, I'm also not gonna sit and fight for my rate.
Gotcha. Gotcha. And so, do you run your OnlyFans yourself? Do you do collabs or is it mostly solo?
I do. Well, I just recently got back into the OnlyFans,
Yeah.
so I would love to do more collabs, like work on girl scenes. Cause
Mhm.
at least, like, I always used to knock OnlyFans and everything, but now I'm like, you get to direct your own stuff.
Right.
You keep your money. It's not just like a one flat rate and that's it, and the company's making money off you while
Mhm.
you're making nothing. You're keeping all your money and everything. Yes, OnlyFans takes a percentage, but you know who you're shooting with. You
Right.
know that you're safe and everything. And at the same time, no one has the right to tell you what to do and what not to do. You do what you feel comfortable doing.
True, true. I do still think though there are situations that maybe models put themselves in or
A
get
hundred
into
percent. I'm not
that
saying it's all great and dandy
yeah.
and everything. Like the way I see it now, where the models just, the double anal and the double vag and
Mhm.
this and that. I'm like, oh, I will not destroy it. No. Call me old school, but no.
Yeah. No, I get it. I haven't done an anal scene yet professionally. I've done it for my OF, with my partner,
Right.
but not
I,
not on big
that
screen.
was like, they threw me to the wolves. When I started shooting,
Okay.
like, I think my second or third team was anal, and I'm like, I haven't even done this in my personal life. But okay, let's get started.
Yeah. And how
Because I didn't like, no one guided me, no one told me what to do or anything. So I was like, okay, fine. And then later I found out you shouldn't even have done that. I'm like, well, it's too late. I already did it.
right, right.
I'm like, I can't take it back.
Did you not have a manager or anything when you first started?
I did. I was with, I don't know if I should name drop, but I
You
was
don't
with
have to
LA
name drop.
Direct.
You don't have to, but I'm just curious if they were the ones booking your stuff for
They
you.
were in the beginning because I had no idea, whatever. And then I switched agencies
Mhm.
and they were better and everything. But, with agencies, it's different. In the beginning, when you start, they're all for you.
Yeah.
And then when they find somebody new, it's like they kind of forget about you. But
Yeah.
yet, you need the shoots, you need the money and everything too. So it's like, and now with social media, you don't really need an agent.
I'm hearing everything that you said. I have totally heard that from other seasoned performers in the industry recently.
Right. And it just sucks because it used to be such a small community
Mm-hmm.
that like everyone knew who was shooting with who and everything. And now keep hearing like the fake testing,
Yeah,
and it's just so scary to me. I'm like, there's no amount of money in the world that would jeopardize my health.
yeah. I totally completely understand that. I think with the testing, um, hopefully that's not. Hopefully we hear less and less about that as
I
people
definitely
lose.
hope so because everyone should be aware, and like even if you're not in the industry, if
Yeah,
you're having sexual like intercourse or whatever, you should get tested.
absolutely, absolutely. Totally
But
agree with
some
you.
girls, I remember speaking when I worked in a strip club or whatever, they
Hmm.
thought that getting tested was a pap smear. And I'm like, oh my God,
Yeah, it's so much more than that now.
100%. It's not just a pap smear.
Yeah,
Because if it
it's
was that easy, then it would be one, two, three.
that's true, but no, it's I actually sit on the health advisory board for PASS, which governs the
Oh,
adult
wow.
industry testing. And,
That's amazing.
thank you. I feel very honored to be involved with them. But my primary care told me that the testing that's done for the industry is way more thorough than you would get just walking into your doctor. So
Right. Because
that's good.
I would go in to get tested. They would take my blood. I would need to pee and everything. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
I'm waiting for those test results, even though I know I'm clean.
Right.
But it was just nerve wracking. I'm like, did something happen? I'm not sure because it takes a day. And I'm like, I know I'm clean. Why am I stressing out so much?
I know. It is that way, especially when you have a shoot coming up and you're like, I have to go,
Right.
right?
Like, it better come on time.
That's
But
right.
my only demand was when I was shooting that whoever I shot with got tested the day before.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that way, because you never know what you do in your personal life.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So it's scary to me. And
Yeah.
then, like we're not using condoms or anything like that, which
Mhm.
is fine, but the testing needs to be more thorough.
Yeah. Yeah. So you must have got into the industry then what about 2004, Alana?
I I would like to think so. It's been so long that I'm like, wow.
Nah, it's not that long ago. So
20 years, but who's counting?
tell me about what it's like to manage a hip hop artist. I was really fascinated to read that.
Why, thank you. I actually met him. He was a guest on my show. And I never heard of him. He was an upcoming artist or whatever. And like he didn't have the right management
Okay.
at the time. I heard him and I was like, who is that? Like, and
Mhm.
thankfully, the industry opens up doors for me and like contacts and everything. So I kind of managed him without being a manager.
Okay.
Like, I got him podcasts and I try to get his name out there even without being a manager just because I believed in him so much.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden, one day it was like, do you want to be my manager? I'm like, oh, are we going steady now? Like,
So cool. How long have you been doing that?
2 years.
Okay. Okay.
So it's exciting and everything because it's new. And like, I love the music industry.
Uh-huh.
So me and him actually started a record label called Hip Hop Love.
Oh my gosh. Is that
So,
LUV? Hip hop LUV or
yeah,
yeah. Okay.
named after me, of course.
Yes. I love that.
But it's exciting and everything just to like see the growth of somebody from day
Yeah.
one and know that like your investment is actually paying off because I wouldn't do anything if I didn't believe in it.
Right.
And I believed in him from the very beginning. When everybody told him no and everything, I was like, no, I don't care. You're alpha male, remember that.
Aw.
And like it works out. So I'm happy.
So does he play clubs then in New York and all
He
over?
does. He performs at like strip clubs and everything. He was on the radio stations like Power 105, Shade 45,
Nice.
everything. So
Nice.
that was exciting. Every single time, I'm like, oh, look at what I created.
There you go. It's like your own baby, right?
Pretty much, except I didn't give birth to it, but pretty much.
That's good. Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. I was sick last week, so I know.
Well, what it is out here I'm in Portland, Oregon, the Pacific Northwest, and so the leaves are all like it has rained and they're starting to mold, and so
Oh,
if I go outside, it's like a mold allergy every year.
oh
So
wow.
sorry about that.
No, it's okay.
So cool. Okay, you are busy managing his
His
career.
life.
Yeah, his whole life. I like that. I like that. And so with the record label, do you have other artists that you
Not
produce?
at the moment,
Okay.
but in the future, I definitely would like to. We're actually considering opening up a studio.
Okay.
So that's exciting too, because that's been a lifelong dream of mine to like
Yeah.
open up a studio with podcast space and recording space and
Mhm.
just a one-stop shop. If you have a photo shoot, get it at the studio. If you need makeup done, go get it at the studio and everything, like a whole concierge for studios.
Nice. And that'll be in New York City, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
And then who
so
knows?
cool.
Maybe it'll be a chain and move to Oregon.
There you go. I don't know. There's not a whole lot of performers out here. I mean, it's just not the hub for anything.
Well, I'm sure there's some.
It's the hub for craft beer, crunchiness.
Who doesn't like beer though?
There you go. There you go. So what other big projects are you working on now? I know you said you're going to start up your podcast again. Is that like a YouTube type of podcast or just audio like on Spotify?
No, it's gonna be on YouTube
Okay.
and it's gonna be visual and audio.
Okay.
I plan on having it on Amazon and Roku and YouTube and everything.
Nice.
Besides the podcast, I plan on doing my own pretty much documentary about my
Oh,
life story. And because if I could help one person get out of an abusive relationship like I was in for 9 years, then
okay.
I'm happy.
Okay.
So
And
pretty much, and then hopefully start my own charity for
oh, that's
that, which is
great.
called Love is Love.
Ah, that's
Of course,
amazing.
named after me.
Yes. The you mentioned an abusive relationship. Was that before or after Adult and Bunny Ranch and all
That was
that?
actually before, and I think he kind of, now I'm looking back at it, he kind of groomed me into the whole industry. You
Mm.
know what I mean? Because, if he really loves me, he wouldn't like be happy with me leaving to the bunny ranch and all that. And especially when I have never done anything like that and you never met me that way,
Uh-huh.
but like he took everything from me, like abused me mentally, emotionally, physically, and for 9 years. But at the same time, it helped me grow as a person.
Mhm.
It's still it's
Oh,
still hard
sure.
to get over.
Yeah. That is
But
a
at
lot.
the same time, like it helped me become stronger. So if I could help one young girl or guy,
Mhm.
because it doesn't just pertain to girls.
Right.
Like
Right.
most people think it's like, how can a man get abused and whatnot? Like, listen, it happens to everyone,
Yeah. Yeah. It
and
can definitely
like
go
it
both
has no
ways.
gender.
Mhm.
So if I can
Absolutely.
help one person, I'll be happy.
Well, I think you definitely have the voice for it, and
Thank you.
with your other work, I think you'll find the perfect platform, to
Right.
do that. But yeah, a documentary would be very interesting. How would you more self shoot that, or do you think you'd have a videographer? Like even
Well,
follow
I
you
have a
around in your daily life.
videographer in mind that like is just waiting for me to be like, okay, give him the green light to shoot and everything. We're trying to figure out locations and
Hmm.
everything because I'm a perfectionist, so I need everything to be perfect.
Right.
So it can't just be rushed, especially if it's my story and like
Right.
it's not all peaches and cream and you know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Yeah.
So I need to be fully ready.
Yeah. Absolutely. And a book, I mean, that's going to segue either the book before or after the
I have
documentary.
to speak to Lady about that for sure.
Yeah. Yeah,
I know
I
she's a
wrote my
master
book.
at that.
Yeah, she helped me a lot with my book, especially keeping me on track and deadlines.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so
She's
she's
good
really
with
good.
that. She will call
Hmm.
you up and be like, hello.
Oh, yes. Yeah. She definitely keeps on top of that. But
But I love her for it because I'm like,
yeah,
I need somebody to like manage my life. Help me.
I can see that. Well, I'm excited for the
What's your
podcast.
book about?
So it is how I got into the adult industry at age 54 because I'm 57.
Wow.
Almost 58. I'll be 58 at Christmas, but yeah.
First off, you look fantastic.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Secondly, I need a copy of your book.
I'll make you one. Yeah. When after we're done, I'll get your address and mail you one.
Perfect. I will definitely read it. Like,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah. I
I
got in, I
definitely need
started
to hear
selling my
your
dirty undies
story.
online.
I definitely need to hear your story.
Well, fun. So, what else do you have going on? You were thinking about a documentary, the podcast is coming.
I think that's about it for now.
Okay, good. When do you think you'll do your first episode for your podcast?
I'm hoping in December I'll relaunch it.
Okay, nice. Great.
So, right now I'm looking for studio space and everything, but I'm hoping to relaunch it before the holidays
Okay. And so will you do it in-person interviews or like
in
this?
person.
Okay.
I
Okay.
just feel like I love the Zoom and everything, but I also love in person as well.
Yeah. No, there's definitely um I think it gets more interesting because you can read, better
You could,
body
yeah,
language. Yeah.
right. And like, but at the same time, like, so sometimes Zoom calls are great too. So,
Yeah.
like, I'm definitely not gonna exclude that
Yeah.
either.
Well, I'm Portland, Oregon, so nobody comes out here. So I have to do
You know what? Never say never.
That's true. I
I
have
actually have a friend that lives in.
You do?
I do. So you never know.
Come on out. Come on out. We'll hang out. We'll make some OnlyFans content.
Exactly. We will collab.
That's amazing. Well, do a shout out of every place that people can find your content, follow you on socials.
You can find me on Twitter at Alana Luv XXX, on Instagram _Alana Luv _, and TikTok Alana _Love _. So
Okay.
a lot of underscores.
Yes. Well, I'm going to definitely follow you on socials. And how
I'm
about your
definitely gonna follow
OnlyFans?
you.
What's your OnlyFans?
Alana Luv XXX.
XXX. Okay,
Same
awesome.
as Twitter. So everyone subscribe.
That's right. Go subscribe. I love the icons, and you're totally right. Like I hear that all the time that they can own their own content now.
Yeah, that's so much better than I'm just like, wow, these companies are making so much money off me and I'm getting nothing.
Days of royalties are gone.
Right, exactly. And it's sad. But that's why there's OnlyFans and Loyal Fans and all these other platforms.
Right.
So that's amazing.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for being
Thank
on
you
the
so
show.
much for having me. This was
It,
so much fun. Thank
it
you.
was, and it was great to get to know you, and I can't wait to
You
see all these
too, and I
projects.
can't wait for more.
Absolutely. Thanks again, Alana.
Bye. Thank you.